Hey guys, quick video. Welcome back to the show. It's Eagle Trading. Good day in the market today. Some of the spec issues started to ramp up a little bit. Little weakness at the close. Interesting how a lot of the Fibonacci levels are creating energy reversals on SPY, and some trend line areas that I personally look at are getting hard to hold above in this current move we've seen. Doesn't mean the market can't go higher, it just means a little bit too much too soon. Look at the chart on SPY here if we remove the Fibonacci's, and you can kind of see doing exactly like we've been doing for a while, is back testing the triangular downtrend here. That line might be off a hair, but you can kind of see once we start to get up through there, we run into that horizontal resistance. But we've created this big wedge along here. We had it right here saying that we were going to pull back and touch this, and SPY would bounce. I didn't think the Qs would actually get the kind of reversal we saw. But the Qs are still a lot weaker. You can kind of see in the Qs already kind of running out of gas here, and never even got back up into more of the descending triangle that we've been talking about. If we can kind of spread this out, move it back over, you'll see if this is the wedge break in here, and then you'll kind of see a line that probably goes along there, and we're well shy of that. That'd be up around 319. So kind of floundering in the Qs as expected. I'm still kind of looking for this to curl back down and get down to the low 290s. I know it seems impossible at this point given the bounce that we've had, but we'll see. Like, it's all about time and energy, I said. Couple stocks today. Oh man, the monster move was EYES. It was actually at 26. This one pissed me off because talk about like heartbreak, man. Having 1,000 shares of this in after hours yesterday and dumping it at the close and thinking in my head this could be a 10 banger from the two, puts it in the 20s. And it was just floundering around in after hours, so I dumped it. And look at the Tuesday morning open this morning in the overnight session at 4 a.m. and gets up to 26. This is in my TD Ameritrade account, so I wouldn't be able to sell till 7 a.m. But at 7 it was 21 and change, and I would have dumped it along here, I'm sure. And then it just started breaking down from there. But it did the infamous curl in the intraday, and the kind of things that I'm looking for. The little shape changes there. Whoops. I just lost it. But this is the move right here that was interesting. This kind of trend line along here, breaking out, like we always talk about, breaking out on volume, above the MACD. I mean, it had all the telltale signs of a nice little run in it. Caught part of that. But I think the more interesting one for today, other than this WPG that I played, this bankrupt company that I was having fun with because it looked like a big old short squeeze. Although I looked at the float and it wasn't that high in the short. But right through the 23.6 Fibonacci, it kind of pulls back. We create this little wedge in here, and then it pops on massive volume. So right around here, I got an alert. I should have been watching it, and I just started riding this thing up, man. It looked like a big old short squeeze. We literally got to the target price, which was a 61.8% retracement from some prior levels back a few years ago. Then we kind of stumbled into the close, and I was already at it anyway. This one I'm still holding though. I want you guys to keep an eye on this XELA. And the reason I like this is multiple reasons. Number one, it just held this trend line the entire day. See the trend line here? You can see the wedge break again. But you see the trend line here, it's holding it all the way into the close. Not only that, when you look at like a 5-year daily on this one, always look for stuff that has price history. And this has some price history. It's probably had some reverse splits, but look at the prices. I mean, actually that might not even be reverse splits. But look at that. All the way back in the 26s not too long ago. So let's look at a 10-year chart and see how far back we can look on this thing. I mean, all the way up into the 2685 so it must be a 5-year chart there. Captured everything. It's probably only a 4-year-old company here. Actually, no, that's from 2017, so it's about 5 years old. This one could be interesting. Looking for sevens on this tomorrow, so I did take a position to this going into the close. Always looking for the stocks that are going to rocket the next day. Those big ones that just have these monster moves. And we look at the 1 year daily on here, the volume, everything just kind of fit the criteria. Yeah, this little wedge break in here. Have it on massive volume. What do we got? How many million? Like 465 million shares. Huge breakout, holds most of the gain. This is the kind of stuff we want to see. Had some news. I don't know whether the news really. I think they got like a $90 million contract over 10 years, $9 million a year. It's a $260 million market cap company, so I'm not super confident about this move, but I'm willing to hold some shares after the close, looking for low sevens, high sixes. So we'll see how that goes. I'm not going to say it's going to be an EYES type of move, but keep an eye on XELA. And then the Bitcoin stocks, GBTC, I told you the other day, this looked really good. This chart looks fine. We're just channeling between the parallel and there's very geometric patterns in Bitcoin. Look at these parallel moves. We literally bounced right off there. 10-point move from the low here, 38.34, 1,000 shares, get to 10 grand. And now we're kind of pulling up inside this bull, this kind of bullhorn wedge. So I'm looking for 51.30 tomorrow. The midpoint of their support for momentum is 48.24. I believe 48.20. You want to keep above 48.20 on the close to keep this momentum going. I'd like to see a little bit more volume on there. But what do we look at now? You look at stuff like Riot, which I think is garbage. And Riot just kind of channeled out too. You might get a little push tomorrow, but it's very reliant on these moves in Bitcoin to continue. I don't think the fundamentals are here. Way off its high still, high of 80. So what, we're 30% off the high, basically, a little bit more. The one I do like, CAN. This one's a baby right here. And I believe this is going to go into the 30s. Maybe 38.90 would be our target price. 161 extension. That would be unbelievable. Let's get rid of the Fibonacci here. And we do have a nice wedge break on huge volume. MACD is curling. We still got some wiggle room in the RSI. So given the move that we've seen in Bitcoin, the potential move that we've seen in Bitcoin a little bit higher, I think we can get some 33s out of this. Ultimate price would be 38. I don't know that we can do that. I mean, this thing used to be what? $1 and change. It's actually even been lower than that. I think it's actually been in the single 50, 60 cents a share not too long ago. But big moves here. I like Can's chart. Much better relative strength than Riot. And it held this little channel area nicely. So looking for 33s and then possibly 38. Once again, it's going to move in tandem with Bitcoin. So the extension on Bitcoin that I'm looking for tomorrow doesn't get 38s on this. It might get its 31s or 32s, maybe 33s if it gets some juice behind it. But so far so good. Just need to hold. If we look at that candle and kind of pull this down a little bit and figure out just based on Fibonacci's where the bulls and the bears are at, we can kind of say that we'd like to hold 26.80 on this one to keep the momentum, and then definitely want to hold 25.70 on a close. And that is it for now, peeps.